Hello YouTube, this is Hunter Surge, bringing you another Digimon news video. So the news that dropped this morning from the official English page was just, hey, information on the Stardex, here's the MSRP, again going over 54 cards, 2 memory gauges, and the additional booster pack. Stuff we already know. So it wasn't anything new, so I wasn't going to cover it. It is good to have that confirmation, 100% of MSRP, $10. We basically already knew that from pre-orders and stuff, but it's good to have that completely confirmed. The reason I'm making a news video is because we got another piece of news. So someone on the Facebook group mentioned a release date for 1.5, which we had not seen any of yet, and I also saw them mentioning that the GTS distributor was covering it. So I went to check out their site. And they have, if it'll work, if the browser will work, there we go. They have listings for all the products. So the main ones we want to look at, of course, are 1.0 and 1.5. But there's a couple other things we want to talk about. Though let's just take a brief look at one of the Stardex to see what it says about this stuff. Yeah, so it just says one constructed deck, booster pack version 1.0, one pack, and memory gauge ×2. So yeah, all the information we already know. Releasing on January 29th, as we previously found out, and 8 displays per case and 6 starters in a display. So yeah, 6 starter decks come in a box. Well, we discovered that previously when we were finding out about the Stardex MSRP. The pre-sale boosters, the pre-sale version of the products are ordered separately, and they have their release date of November 27th, as we discovered previously. Now, let's talk about 1.0 and 1.5. So, 100% confirmation that we're still 12 boxes per case, as we had heard, that as it is in Japan, and as we'd heard some confirmation of otherwise. This is the rarity breakdown that we already know. Box toppers. So, we now know exactly how many tamers we're getting in the tamer box topper. So let's take a look. There's 10 tamers. This is here. So let's look up parallel on good old Digimon Card Dev, digimoncard.dev. Very, very useful site. If I put in tamer, will that narrow it down? Yeah, that narrows it down. There's still a couple others that reference tamers, but really narrowed it down. So we have, yeah, so that would be all 10 of these, which means we are getting all of these tamers in from the start. Just from the start, just immediately getting all of them. Let's just do it to card type tamer, because this is bugging me a bit. All right, there it is, all of them. So we're getting all of them. The getting 7 of the Digidestined thing had made it seem like we would be missing one of them in this first set, but like if there's 10 tamer box toppers, it has to be all 10 of them because there's only these 10. There aren't any more beyond these. So we're getting all of them. That, of course, 100% beyond a shadow of a doubt confirms the presence of green, purple, and black. For anyone who is still doubting that 100% confirms their presence in the set. Like, they have box toppers in the set, confirmed at this point. Unless English is suddenly getting a new tamer box topper, which doesn't seem super likely. So that's 100%. Cool to see. Happy to see that. That's good information. Now from there, let's move on to 1.5 because that's the juicy stuff. So that's 1.0. This is 1.5. So 1.5 is releasing on February 26th. So a month after the release of 1.0, we will get 1.5. This is what I predicted in my video that I made right after the announcement of the English version. Basically to get us all the through BT3 stuff super quickly, so that if, say, they want to get us to 1 pack behind, they can easily do that. They do this, and then they release like 2 months later our booster pack 4 around the same time that Japan is getting their booster pack 5, because Japan will be getting booster pack 4 around the time we're getting 1.0. 1 month is a short time span, especially for a game that just launched, so that might be a bit concerning. But I feel like the pre-sale is existing specifically to help circumvent that issue. To help circumvent the potential problem with to help circumvent that potential issue, you release that with the pre-sale version a couple months earlier, and then a month after the official release of 1.0, you get 1.5, and then you get us on track on 1 full set behind. They could also, as I've mentioned before, do a merger of set 4 and 5, and that would completely catch us up. Now let's talk about the contents. So we have 152 cards. This is really important. This is super, super important. Because this plus 187 is 339 cards, which completely deconfirms any promos being inserted into the pack, which I find a bit disappointing. But looking through it, we seem to be having ways to get all of the promos like right away, so it'll be fine. Now the box toppers, we have the parallel Digimon cards. Those are a part of BT3. We know. We don't know which Digimon they are, because, of course, BT3 hasn't even started its spoiler season for Japan. But that lines up with the BT3 box toppers in Japan. And then special box promotion pack. This is the big one to me, because in yesterday's video, when we talked about the special box promotion pack, I was like, hey, it would be cool if they released this in both 1.0 and 1.5. That would do a lot for the availability of these cards. It would help a lot. And that seems to be exactly what they're doing. Like, this could be another special box promotion pack that just doesn't have anything to denote it, to separate it from the 1.0 one. But here's why I think that's not the case. So let's pull up the promos. That's the wrong thing. Pull up the promos. So we are getting the magazine promos already. These are all covered in the special box promotion pack. So we have this, which is the BT2 tournament prize pack, and then we have the 0.0 promotion pack. So we know that set 1.0 has a dash pack that comes alongside it that you get for every 12 packs. So you get 2 in a box. So let's say, for example, that dash pack is corresponds to 0.0. And it has these 6 cards. Okay, then what if in 1.5 we do another dash pack and that's these 8 cards? With those, we have now completely covered all of the promos. We have all of the promos. They are all covered at the time of BT2. Of course, there will probably be a new prize pack that comes out alongside BT3, but we're starting in BT3, so it would make sense that the first tournament support stuff that goes out to LGSs will be the prize pack that comes with that will be the BT3 one. So we get all caught up on promos. Everything is covered. Nothing to worry about. So you can easily have that special box promotion pack be in both 1.0 and 1.5, and that does a lot for the availability of these cards, and many of these cards are very solid. Like Tai-Chi especially is an absolute staple in the All Force Vidramon deck, which is very good, and Vidramon is going to get more support in BT2. So it's likely to become even better. And basically all of these have some decent usability. So for all of them, it's good to see. It's good to see for all of them. The last thing I want to touch on before we leave is that if we look on this, we see the Stardex, we see 1.0, we see 1.5, but the later three starter decks, the ones for black, green, and purple, are nowhere to be seen, despite the fact that 1.5 is up. So I think it's safe to assume that those starter decks will not be releasing in English alongside 1.5, as many of us were originally assuming. What I think is happening is those will be released a month after 1.5, as they are being released a month after BT3 in Japan. So we would get those at the end of March. That makes enough sense. They want to keep that separation. They're designed to come out after BT3, so they'll still release after BT3. And then a month or two after that, we get our BT4, or BT4 plus BT5 merger. We don't. Who knows? Who knows if they want to catch us up completely or just get us to one step behind? Who knows? But that seems to be what's happening there. So that's a lot of news. I forgot that this was a bit to the side, so you might have not been seeing everything on my screen, but most of the things were centered, right? I really should have checked that before I started recording. Okay, yeah, all the important information was viewable on the screen. Okay. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed that. I will maybe be back tomorrow if the news at the English social medias post tomorrow is new information that we don't already have from the pre-orders and stuff. But with that said, this is Hunter Surge, signing off.